What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Pub Sports Radio Baseball Show. My name is Jose Bouquet, and that extra laggy man over there with the Phillies hat is Andrew Santangelo. Andrew, how are you doing today, Andrew?
I'm doing very well. Made it back to Oklahoma. Have a lot of baseball news to dive into. Very long drive. About 22 hours. Took 2 days. Stopped.
I think it's my favorite thing that I guess no one knows about you is that you drive from Oklahoma to Philadelphia. You literally drive half the nation.
Yeah, I don't know. I love driving, so I never mind it too much. That back end might be a little long, but I always like driving. I know a lot of people don't feel the same way with that, but that's the way I am, at least.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's get right.
I don't know if you're a driver or not, but
I have mixed feelings about driving. I have a lot of mixed feelings about driving. I've driven to Las Vegas a couple times now, twice to be exact. And I like before going, I'm like, yes, let's fucking go, all guns blazing. But like after you get to the 7th hour and you still have 3 more hours, you're just like, fuck. It's a pain. So
how far is it from you?
I think it's like 10, 11 hours, maybe 12. Drove to Colorado too, so that was also a grind. And then we hit that snowstorm, which is fun.
But for stuff like we'll dive into it.
Let's get into the baseball because we have a lot of baseball to talk about. This is the first time we've had baseball, I guess breaking baseball to talk about. And let's get into the Padres, man. They're doing it. They're doing what all baseball teams should be doing in trying to win. I don't know. That's a rare concept nowadays, Andrew.
They're definitely not our teams.
They're trying to win baseball games in 21, so they're taking advantage of teams that don't. The Tampa Bay Rays traded Blake Snell to the Padres, or I guess the Padres traded for him. That's the other way I should say. The Rays got Luis Patino, Francisco Mejia, Blake Hunt, and Cole Wilcox, all fairly good prospects. That Patino leading the staff, I guess I should say. Francisco Mejia, second time being traded too. Fun fact. But they get them on. Like I said, they're top prospects in the Padres organization. Not the very best. And the Padres have the second best prospect farm in baseball. So that's a nice haul for the Rays right there. And then they follow that up. People were asking, what are they going to do next? Well, they go ahead and fulfill all those rumors and go ahead and trade for Darvish and his personal catcher, which is hilarious too. Victor Caratini. They gave up Zach Davies, MLB pitcher from last year. Pretty good, not bad a guy. Reginald Picardo. There we go. These names are kind of hard, and I'm Hispanic-ish. So, Yeson Santana, Owen Cassian, and Ismael Mena, whatever. The kind of lower level prospects compared to what the Rays got. Zach Davies, that MLB pitcher, leads that farm system and haul there. But interesting trades. I love this move. I love both moves. It's a good time. Shout out to our guy Jason Cornell for hopping in. Appreciate you. We're giving you the baseball talk. We're the only people that do it around here, so we have to. But Andrew, let me get your instant reaction. What are you thinking about these Padres trades, getting these aces?
My first reaction was honestly thinking back to our last show we did, and we were discussing and debating which pitcher would be better to trade for. Like we listed the teams that needed starting pitchers, and which one would you rather trade for, Darvish or Snell? Because those two were the hot names on the market at the time, and of course, the San Diego Padres were like, you know what? Let's just go on. We'll grab both of the guys on the market and leave everyone else scratching their heads trying to find starting pitching. And honestly, I think this is a great move for the Padres. I love it for the Padres. And I'll discuss the Cubs and Rays here in a little bit. From a Padres standpoint, I mean, obviously, Trevor Bauer is better than both those guys, and they were believed to be a team that would go after Bauer. But I'd rather two great pitchers than just Trevor Bauer. I don't know if you agree with that or not. But so I think
cheaper for both.
Yeah, I would say, honestly, combined salaries is probably less than what Bauer's going to be getting. So you obviously have a guy, Mike Clevenger, who's most likely going to miss most of the season. I think it's already rolled out. He's out for the entire season. But so he's
reported that months before that even came out. By the way,
yeah, him and Verlanders.
Yeah. We said elbow strains. All right.
So yeah, they knew what they were getting into and losing Clevenger. So they're like, let's get two guys. And obviously, you lose a young player in Zach there when you ship him over to the Cubs. But obviously, I think Darvish and Snell are more win now pitchers for this team who have in the last few years obviously put together a team that's ready to compete. And you saw them take that jump last year and obviously ran into a very good Dodgers team, eventual World Series champion. And this year they're like, we're going to compete with them. Obviously whether we still think whoever's the favorite there, but they put together a roster that is going to give the Dodgers a run for their money. And I think Padres come out winning both these trades, honestly.
Yes.
I think they kind of fleeced the Rays. To be honest, I think Rays could have got a little more there. I don't know how the Padres, we talked about at the deadline, I don't know how they keep making these trades and finding ways to keep their top prospects. They don't give anybody up in these trades.
Yeah.
Like obviously, Zach Davies is very good and a ready now player, but in terms of their actual prospects, like they find a way to keep everybody. So as a Padres fan, you can't be disappointed in these trades.
It's hilarious. It's honestly hilarious. They keep doing it. That's my favorite part about these trades, that they kept Mackenzie Gore, their number one prospect. I think I wrote it down. He's like number 3 in he's number 3 in baseball. Mackenzie Gore is. He's another arm that's probably going to come up next year. We'll see him do his thing, or maybe they trade for another arm. I mean, hell, they also have C.J. Abrams, the number 21 prospect in baseball. I think he's a shortstop too, and they've got some infielders now. Because we'll mention this another signing they had. They picked up Ha-seong Kim from the KBO, who's an animal apparently. Hit 900 OPS when he was over at 30 home runs, 23 steals, hitting over 300. He's a third baseman and a shortstop, which made his decision signing to the Padres kind of weird because obviously they've got guys there. So maybe he goes to second, maybe he DHs if the National League has a DH, maybe he even plays outfield. I don't know where they're going to put him, but he's another great player. I like the depth. I agree with everything you said. The move's awesome. They get him for relatively cheap. I mean, still they said that, you said that the Rays got fleeced, but the Rays are. I will move over to the Rays perspective, I guess, real fast. I think the Rays are arguably the smartest, baseball operation grew in baseball. That's what they do. They weren't going to re-sign Snell. I don't know how many years he has left. I think he has one more year after this one. So he had him under control. They're obviously cutting money too, because they let Charlie Morton go for the exact option that he could have picked up with Atlanta, or they signed for the same money. And I trust the Rays. These are still good prospects. The Padres farm system is a number 2 in baseball for a reason. The Rays are number 1. If you're gonna give me the 10th prospect, the 15th, the 23rd, and one of your guys has come up who's still a top 20 prospect. I think Patino, I don't know where I wrote it down, but Patino is I think he's number 23 in baseball still. So all those guys in that farm system that's already loaded going to another farm system with the Rays are coming. They've got guys, the best farm system, and they've got them for cheap too.
But from a Rays standpoint, I'm disappointed. You made the World Series last year. You have a contending team there. It's not like Blake Snell was making a huge amount of money where, you couldn't bring him back. I get kind of letting Charlie Morton go because he's going to demand a good amount of money from in free agency. So I understand not bringing him back. But when you have Snell already on your roster, and I think you just said he's only got a year or two left of control, so why not use that year or two to go after another World Series? It's not like you're a team who wasn't competing and you had to get something for him right away. Like you're a team that still should be competing this upcoming season, and you just lost arguably your best pitcher on your roster. So now you look at that rotation. That rotation isn't scary anymore.
No. This is definitely, they're gonna have a worse. I think. They're finished running up in baseball, so this is not a hot take, but they're not gonna be better than they were last year, and that really confirms that, But again, the Rays know what they're doing.
And depending on, I don't know. Depending on what happens the rest of the offseason, when we break down the 2021 preview, you could be looking at the Rays and us picking them not to make the playoffs.
That's perfectly fine.
That's what these moves do.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
These moves just went from World Series contenders to missing the playoffs.
Okay, fair enough. Jason chimes in that the Padres are making moves that the Rockies should be doing. I'm assuming that, Jason, you're a Rockies fan, and I sympathize for you because your beloved third baseman might be heading out sooner rather than later. And yeah, some KBO talk too. We talk about 2 players that get signed. Ha-seong Kim, shout out to him, and then the Rangers, shout out to Sam, picked up the pitcher whose name escapes me. I wrote him down in our free agency guide, but I'm sure we'll talk about him when we get to 2021 previews with those mighty Texas Rangers. All right, so I wanted to get into this. We've talked about the Rays. We've talked about the Padres, what these trades do with them. We have two more facets of these trades we need to talk. We need to talk about the Cubs. The Cubs, they get, like I said, they get Zach Davies. They also send $3 million to the Padres, by the way. And I say this because there's been a lot of talk that the Cubs are in debt. They've been shifting around some debt. They've been trying to make the numbers work because they're one of those teams been hit by the coronavirus. Apparently, they don't have any more money. They become a poverty franchise. So they've been cutting money. They've been, we've seen Kyle Schwarber leave. He was left on waivers. I think he's a free agent. He's going to be gone. We've heard Chris Bryant rumors about him being traded. Those have been swirling since last year. Now we've seen the not Zach Davies, Darvish get traded, their best pitcher. And now we've seen Wilson Contreras rumors come up. Jed Hoyer apparently said those were fiction, but I don't believe you, Jed. I just don't believe you. We'll see what happens there. And who's next? What's next for the Cubs? Like, this is their whole division. The NL Central is just selling. Everyone's going down.
Yeah, I think from a Cubs standpoint, since their World Series run, everyone expected them to be like basically contenders and back to the World Series. And I think most people, if not everyone, would agree the last couple of years after that World Series year have been disappointing years for them. And I think they're not getting Chris Bryant, getting the Chris Bryant they fully believed they were going to get. And I think we've heard it before, as you mentioned, the rumors were started last season. I think it was even before the start of last year too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's rumors Chris Bryant wasn't happy. There's been rumors like other people. So I think it's kind of just all starting to kind of blow up now. And you saw him trade for Darvish or acquire Darvish. Saw him trade for Cole Hamels back a few years ago. So they tried to make those moves to still contend, and they just didn't work out. And I think now you're looking at a standpoint where they're like, okay, well, one, like you mentioned, yeah, you did lose some money this season, so obviously it's going to put you more of a conflict. And now you're looking at, okay, well, if Chris Bryant's still unhappy and he's still going to cause problems in house, well, we're going to have to move him. And I think I would not be surprised to see him move by the start of next year. And then same thing with other guys. Now that Darvish is gone, how many other players are going to want to stay there? Like, how long does Anthony Rizzo give it before he's like, okay, if we're blowing things up, I want out. So this is a very interesting time for the Cubs, and it'll be interesting to see if they kind of sign anyone to replace these players. But I think luckily for the Cubs, unlike the Rays here, you get a guy like Zach here to fill in the rotation. He's an MLB guy, a ready player right now. He showed success last year, so he might be able to come in and give you a pretty good season. So I think Cubs benefited in terms of full-on trade-wise more than the Rays did in this situation. But from a Cubs standpoint for next year, I'm interested to see who else gets moved, because I don't think this was the last move before the season.
Yeah, it definitely we'll see, because I think the Cubs said after this, and I believe the Rays also said after this, they had their press conferences after the trade, they had to face the media. They said, we still expect to compete this year. Well, I don't know what we're competing for. That's going to be tough.
Every team says they're going to compete. They're not going to come out and be like, all right, we give up for this year. We'll take last place now.
Yeah, it's so annoying. I hate that. I hate when the general managers move players, just specifically like when the Red Sox move Mookie Betts. Hey, we're still going to compete, guys. We're going to. How about why don't we just be transparent? Maybe 2020 is not our year. How about that? How about that? It's so funny, Jason chimes in with played a lot of KBO DFS. So name was familiar. Cubs seem to be going back to the lovable losers. I'm saying that twice. Narrative. Rockies are on top. Yeah, they're on top of that lovable losers train. I agree with you there. I hope the Rockies do not trade, by the way, Nolan Arenado. No one wants to see that, especially if he goes to a New York team. No one wants to see that.
Yeah, I wish Rockies would somehow finally add pitching. Like they got so many likable players on that team, and it's like you want to see them do well, but they just never do what it takes. Like I mean, if you think about it, they've had Charlie Blackmon forever. Now they've had Nolan Arenado forever. Now they got a young guy in Trevor Story. They had DJ LeMahieu. Like they had all this talent, and they just never added pitching. And it's just so. I mean, I'm not even a Rockies fan, but it's just like frustrating to see a team with that much talent like not do what it takes to try to win.
Yeah, great uniform, by the way.
Yes, great uniform.
Great mascot. I love the fucking big ass dinosaur. I love that. And great stadium. So then that's talking Rockies right there. That's all the Rockies talk we have. So appreciate that. Shout out to Jason for watching. I wanted to talk about one last thing between this trade. MLB.com rated or made their ranking of the top 10 rotations after these trades. And I want to hear your opinion on this. I'll give you the list. And number 10 is comical. Number 1, the San Diego Padres. That they think that this has taken them to the top. Number 2, the Dodgers. Number 3, the Indians. Number 4, the Nationals. Number 5, the Braves. Number 6, the New York Mets. Number 7, the White Sox. Number 8, the Yankees. Number 9, the Athletics. And number 10, a tie. They wrote down tie. They wrote down tie, which I thought was hysterical. Sure, tie. The tie was between, and they had basically like a choose your own adventure. You could pick the Brewers with Brandon Woodruff and Patrick Corbin. You can pick your Phillies with Nola and Wheeler. You could pick the Reds with Luis Castillo and Sonny Gray, who might get traded himself. The Twins, Kenta Maeda and Jose Barrios. The Astros, they listed Zach Greinke, Lance McCullers. Framber Valdez is coming up, and I don't believe Verlander will be playing with the Astros because I think his deal, he has TJ, so he won't be playing this year, and then he'll come back next year, and then he'll be a free agent. I think that's how it worked out. So, and there's 2 more teams, Andrew. Don't believe it or not. You've got the Blue Jays with you and Pearson, and then Miami with Six Toes, Sanchez, Sandy, and all their youngins.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 teams tied for 10.
Yeah. There's a list.
They might as well just put the rest of the league in there and just finished out the list.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was hilarious. I was kind of angry. I was like, wow, the Red Sox aren't on there. I mean, Chris Sale and Eddie Rodriguez not good enough. Is that what we're saying? But I thought it was funny. Andrew, do you have any comments or any complaints on this list?
Did you say Athletics at 8 or 9, something like that?
Yeah, the A's are at 9, the Yankees are 8, and the Yankees are at 8. That means Garrett Cole and some fucking guys that they haven't even signed yet, because I don't know if they have any pitchers besides Garrett Cole right now.
I'm surprised about the amount of love they gave to the Mets.
I was not expecting them. But
was Stroman taking a year off last year? He struggled the year before that when he got traded to the Mets. Obviously, Syndergaard is going to be coming off an injury.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm surprised the Mets. I mean, yeah, they got names there, but I'm surprised in a ranking like that they put them that high.
I mean, if you're going to put the Yankees at 8 with Garrett Cole and friends, you might. I mean, DeGrom's a better pitcher than Garrett Cole, and there's more names. There's actual names behind DeGrom instead of no one.
Well, yeah, I'm not comparing them to the Yankees. I'm just saying, like.
I mean, I think that makes sense. I like their potential too. Jason likes the Marlins pitching. I like the Marlins pitching as well. Six Toe Sanchez. He's like the 20th prospect still, which is crazy to me. And I think he's really good. Sandy Alcantara showed his stuff in the postseason, and the Marlins have young pitching for days. So we'll see what that turns out to be. Did you have any complaints with 1 and 2, Andrew? Do you still think do you think the Dodgers are right there? Do you think they're better? Because I personally still think I'd take the Dodgers rotation.
I mean, I think team-wise, Dodgers are probably still there. But if you look at rotations, I mean, I see why they did that. I mean, if you have – I mean, I don't remember what his full-on stats were, but yeah, I think he had Kershaw go off a little bit of a decline, right, last year. We all know his injury history here and there. I think Walker Buehler, while he didn't pitch bad, it wasn't what he was the year before that either. So we'll see what kind of Walker Buehler they get this upcoming year. And then obviously a young Dustin May that pitched extremely well. So obviously everyone expect the same thing on that road. But I think
Andrew, I'm just going to say Clayton Kershaw was 6-2 with a 2.16 ERA last year. So that's You know,
Maybe it was the year before that. Then
yeah, I think it was the year before that.
I'm pretty sure recently he was like close to. I think he was a little over a 3.
Yeah, last year this is his worst. You know, oh my god! If you look at Clayton Kershaw's Baseball Reference, it's kind of astonishing. You forget how good Clayton Kershaw has been and is the best pitcher of our generation. By the way, Andrew, I fully admit that. But he went 16-5 in 2019 with a 3.03 ERA, which is the highest of his career. That it was not his rookie year. That's his highest since his rookie year, which is hysterical, absolutely hysterical.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Dodgers still. By the way, I think that postseason. I need a little postseason seasoning in there. I don't. You know, I've Blake Snell's won me over. I'll freely admit that. I'll take him. But I don't really love you, Darvish. He's been one of those guys that cracks under the pressure. I'm not sold on him. Lamet's been great. But let's see it. You know, I don't think he didn't pitch in the postseason this year because he was hurt. Chris Paddock, ups and downs. I need to see something from him. And then when 2022 comes along, when Clevenger comes back, hopefully he's healthy. Maybe.
Yeah, I think
it's close for sure.
And I guess because of how young they are, they got to see what they do for a full year next year. But I would not be surprised at the end of 2021 season, the Indians have the best rotation in baseball.
Yeah. I mean,
like obviously the other guys after Bieber, they had 2 guys come up and pitch most of last year, but kind of still younger, so you don't know what they're going to do in a full season. So I think that's what kind of hurt the Indians there to be. I think you said 3. But I think at the end of next year, if they do what they did last year and stuff, I think we could be talking about them having the best rotation, honestly. Because the thing with you, Darvish, too, is obviously he kind of revamped his career last year with that very good year. But, I mean, before that, there's a reason why the Rangers traded him. He was kind of hitting the up and down swing there in his career. And kind of, I mean, you're not a big fan of Snell. I mean, so obviously Snell's
he won me over. He won Tampa Bay. Don't hold me to it. I said he won me over.
Oh, you're a Snell fan now?
Yeah, hey, he dominated. I can't say shit. What can I say? He was great.
But you know how big of a Snell fan I am. But I think at this point, though, you do have to ask the question, though, is obviously I think the Padres are going to try to have him go deeper into games. How's that going to affect him? Like
he wants it. He fucking wants it, dude.
Well, obviously he wants it, but that doesn't mean – I mean, just because you want it doesn't mean you're going to be successful at it. I mean, so my point is, like, who knows? Like, yeah, obviously Snell's going to give you the same great 5 or 6 innings, but if you push him out there for the 7th or 8th, is he going to still be that shutdown guy at that point? And I think he can be, but until he proves it, I mean, obviously it's still a question.
Okay, fair enough. So, I think we should move on. There's a lot of Padres talk. You know, I appreciate the Padres. Thank you for giving us something to talk about, and shout out to Fernando Tatis for playing in the Dominican Winter Leagues. I love to see that. I think we should hit these 2 free agency rumors real quick, Andrew, and then we can move on to the top 3 free agency rumors. I'm sorry. Then top stories according to MLB.com. Number 1, the race for George Springer. I think we said last week it was reported that it was the Blue Jays and Mets. It's been like that for a while now. And I believe it was Heyman who tweeted out, John Heyman said that offers are north of $100 million, which seems pretty typical to me. But both are still short of their asking price. Apparently, Springer wants $150+ million guaranteed. The sides are short, but there is a bright light at the end of the tunnel for Mets fans because the Mets are technically in the lead, according to them. So, Andrew, you know, you might have to deal with George Springer here soon.
Yeah, and that would be devastating. That'd be a good pickup for him. But let me say this first. It always makes me laugh when they go, whatever team is in the lead for whatever free agent, because it could change at any given second. Like, yeah, the Mets might be quote unquote in the lead, but who's to say the Blue Jays, while we're talking right now, didn't just offer him a deal that just put them in front of the Mets?
Yeah, exactly.
So I get listing out the teams that like have submitted offers or are interested in all that, but like to say a team is in the lead, I always thought was funny, and I mean, unless they actually have proof that guy has said, okay, I prefer this destination. Like, I don't think there's a true lead.
Yeah.
But and stuff like this. I mean, how many times when we sit here and be like, okay, it's down to two teams. I always feel like a good amount of times there's a third team that just finds a way to come in and takes him, and that's kind of the way I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking with Springer. I would not be surprised if it's not the Mets or Blue Jays at some point, and it's going to be a different team that kind of drops in last second and gets him.
Okay.
Just because I don't know, and I get it. I don't know, it'd be an odd splash for the Blue Jays. It's just not a move they usually make. I feel like so. I mean,
trying to win. They've got the young talent. They've got arms. Apparently, they're trying to do it. I respect it.
I would love to see him do it.
Apparently, Blue Jays are in on everybody. By the way, too. I've seen like literally every big name. Like, hey, Blue Jays are interested. Blue Jays are kicking the tires, and that's what I'd want if I was a Blue Jays fan. At least throw our hat in the ring.
Okay, so that's another thing though. When it comes to it cracks me up when they go, oh, this team is interested in Trevor Bauer, this team's interested in George Springer. Are you doing your job as a GM if you're not interested in Trevor Bauer or George Springer? Like,
hey, there's a lot of people not interested in Trevor Bauer. There's a lot of Trevor Bauer slander on the internet because we'll talk about Trevor's alleged offers and whatnot coming up here soon. But a lot of Trevor Bauer hate on the internet.
But that's from fans, not teams. Like, my point is, like, if I'm the Phillies GM, am I doing my job right if I'm not interested in the best player in free agency?
Well, apparently not.
Like, of course, whether I can whether I can afford him or not, I'm still gonna have interest in him and at least do some. Like, I got to do some part of my job to at least try to find a small way to make that miracle happen. Like, if you're not going, okay, let me try to kick the tire with Bauer. Like, you're not doing your job right unless obviously you're locked down in all other sides and already have that much talent at that position. Like, if you already have a solid center fielder where you don't need Springer, then yeah, obviously not. But, like, most teams need starting pitchers. So are you really doing your job if you're not asking for Bauer?
Yeah, you're right. Hey, I agree with you. Let's move on to Bauer. John Heyman tweeted out that apparently Bauer wants 5 to 6 years and $36 to $40 million as an AAV. That's the average annual value. So around there, that would make him one of the highest paid pitchers in baseball, obviously. God, I have to look it up. I forgot what Garrett Cole is making. I think he's making $38 million a year. But Bauer wants to be right up there. He wants to be one of the highest paid pitchers in baseball, and who can blame him? Even though he used to say that he would just sign 1-year deals. So we'll see what happens there. Someone's going to throw that back in his face, and I'd love to see the response. But Bauer, he goes on to Twitter. He's got Twitter fingers. And he went on to the machine and just like tweeted like, I'm learning so much about my free agency from you, John. Thank you so much. Basically, he was kind of saying that this is bullshit and this was not true. So who do you think's right, Andrew? $36 million, $40 million for Bauer. I don't know why he would say that's bullshit, but okay, fair enough, whatever. A lot of people, like I said, were like, that's not worth it for Trevor Bauer, blah, 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 blah. But they obviously don't know how baseball works.
Yeah, first, I think I'm going to go on the side of John Heyman. First, why would he make that up? Like, why would he be like, oh, let me tweet that Trevor Bauer wants $36 million?
He wants some clicks, obviously. He just needs the clicks.
He's got enough clicks. Like, he doesn't need any more clicks. Like, go on his Twitter right now. I'm sure he's got millions of followers. So, he puts out a tweet. He could put out whatever tweet he wants. There's going to be millions of people that sees it, whether it's the stupidest tweet or the best tweet. Like, he doesn't need any more clicks. Like, he's not a guy that's upcoming in the reporting market where he's got to get his name out there. He's already one of the top reporters in baseball.
Yeah, by the way, Garrett Cole, $36 million AAV. Strasburg's 35. So, yeah, he would be the highest paid pitcher in baseball, and it wouldn't be that close if he did get 40.
So then, yeah, my second point is I absolutely believe it. You throw those two guys down. Okay, is Trevor Bauer better than Steven Strasburg? Absolutely. So he's going to look at Strasburg's contract and go, okay, he's making 35, so I deserve at least 36. And then he's arguably better than Garrett Cole too. Honestly, like the way he pitched last year.
Hey.
So he sees Cole got 36 last year, and the market's only going to raise from that standpoint. So he's going to go, yeah, I can get 36, 37 million. So now you're looking at that. And obviously, if the agent's doing his job right, he's going to be trying to get every extra cent out of whatever team is trying to go after him, and they're going to try to cause a bidding war between team to team. So yes, I do believe it, and I believe that's something the agent could have said because, again, you're going to try to raise what other teams are offering. So you're going to try to be like, okay, yeah, this team just offered me 36.5. Can you counter that with 37? And then you just keep going from there. So
Like
like
an auctioneer. You're like, 37 here. We got 38, 39, 40. Yeah, so yeah.
Exactly. So I absolutely believe it. And who knows? Maybe Bauer said 35, and then the agent behind his back is going 37. Like we've heard those stories between players where players come out and say after a long off season or whatever, yeah, I didn't know that was happening. I remember, I think it was Ryan Madsen when the Phillies lost it. When the Phillies lost him in free agency, he wanted to come back to Philadelphia, but the agent declined a contract that he said he probably would accept it if he knew he got the offer.
Okay. Well, I love Ryan Madsen. Shout out to him and shout out for giving up a bunch of runs against the Red Sox when he was on the Dodgers. Appreciate him. Phillies legend. I remember.
I love Ryan Madsen.
I remember him coming in. I remember him.
He was the perfect eighth inning pitcher before Lidge.
Oh, Lidge, Phil Hughes. Who am I thinking? Brad Lidge. That's what I'm thinking of. I guess those the Phil Hughes and Brad Lidge are they just similar names in my head? Apparently, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he even a closer?
Phil Hughes? No, he's a starting pitcher for the Yankees.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Absolutely. So that's hilarious. I have one more rumor for you, Andrew, and I just want to know: do you think this one's real or not? Because apparently, people are reporting. I think it was MLB trade rumors. DJ LeMahieu is talking to the Los Angeles Dodgers, Andrew. Dodgers don't have a second baseman, really. Kike Hernandez is probably leaving. Chris Taylor, he can play everywhere, but, fact or fiction, Andrew? Could you see it? The Yankees, they're not going to give DJ 150 million, 140 million. Why not? The Dodgers slide in, here you go, DJ. Come play second base.
It's absolutely a fact. We know how versatile of a player DJ is. He can play first, second, third. Like you said, you don't have a solidified second baseman right now. You're possibly without your third baseman, Justin Turner, depending on what he does in free agency because they haven't re-signed him yet. So it absolutely could be correct. Or I think it absolutely is correct. And again, a guy like that, a market the Dodgers are in, and the owner they have there, they still have all the money in the world, and you're coming up a World Series, so made extra money that way. Again, probably the best hitter in free agency. You're not doing your job if you're not interested in DJ LeMahieu. So I absolutely believe it. How serious are they in talks? That's the question. But I absolutely believe Dodgers have at least reached out to him.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And I could see DJ being like, okay, I want a ring too, so I'm going to take a couple million pay cut to go there.
Why not?
I mean, if you're telling me I got Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, Max Muncy, all those guys in my lineup, but I'm going to hit behind or in front of some of those guys and get even better pitches than what I'm used to getting when I was hitting over 350. Well, I'm going to take that.
Could you imagine, Andrew? Let's close our eyes for a second. Let's just say, number one, Mookie Betts, only the best player in baseball. Number two, DJ LeMahieu coming up there. Number three, I guess Cody Bellinger, fine. I guess. That's how you start off a game. That's disgusting. Get out of here. I don't want to. That's all-star lineup. No, I don't want to believe in that. I hope it's fiction, but, at the same time, I kind of want it to be fact, too. I want
wait till they sign DJ and JT.
Oh, boy. Don't do that to me, Andrew.
Could you imagine if they somehow managed DJ LeMahieu, JT Realmuto, and Justin Turner?
Hey, they don't want to no one wants to pay some money for these guys. So I guess the teams that want to win will pay the money for them.
Yeah, leave it to Magic Johnson.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, if you people in the chat or people watching, I'd love to hear your opinion on Trevor Bauer versus Garrett Cole. Apparently, Andrew thinks it's Trevor Bauer. These two players obviously don't like each other either. If you know anything about them, they played at UCLA together, and they did not like each other. So I love just hearing the Garrett Cole Trevor Bauer rivalry. So I hope he goes to the Mets just to kind of steal Cole's thunder. By the way, so Garrett Cole versus Trevor Bauer. Let me see who you guys think is better.
Who you taking?
I'm taking Garrett Cole. Yeah, I think Cole's better. It's really unfortunate. I love Trevor Bauer. I don't like Garrett Cole, but I'll take Cole. I need it. Hey, Trevor Bauer has more Cy Youngs than Garrett Cole does.
Exactly. Point for me.
Hey, point for you. There you go. Hey, maybe you're right. Maybe I should look at it that way. All right, Andrew. Let's go into our last little segment here, Andrew. Let's talk about today's New Year's Eve. If you didn't know, if you're watching us live, December 31st of this wretched year that is 2020. MLB.com has ranked the top 10 stories from 2020, and I just want to count them down. We're going to talk about them real fast. This doesn't have to be a speed round kind of thing, but we won't take too much time on it because some of them we are still living through. So we'll get through it. Andrew, would you like to start at 10 or would you like to start at 1?
Let's go 10.
Let's go to 10. All right, number 10. Steve Cohen buys the Mets. Steve Cohen, money bags. I don't even know what my man made his money off of, to be honest. I'm kind of oblivious to anything that's not sports. So, Steve Cohen, God has a lot of money. There's a whole bidding process for the Mets. Alex Rodriguez and his group of celebrities and J-Lo, they want to buy the Mets. And Steve Cohen comes in kind of as a white knight for Mets fans, buys the Mets. Sale is completed. Has easily become the most likable owner in baseball just because of his tweets, just sending off a couple tweets every now and then, just riling up the fan base. For example, I was on Twitter, I followed him a couple months ago or a month ago. And whenever I see a tweet now, it's electric. It's like you see, I don't know. I think it was like the day that the George Springer story came out when they said that it was between the Mets and the Blue Jays. He just sent out a tweet like, I'm going to go text Jared to see what's up. And Jared is there. I think it's Jared Clentak, or no, that's the guy from the Phillies. I forgot his last name, but the general manager just texts general manager just to rile up the Phillies fans to get, spark one. And I think everything he's done awesome. He's tried to win. He's made some trades. He's paid James McCann. He established a culture. So I think they put him as number 10. I agree with it. I think he's been a great addition to baseball.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the right move for him. He gives you the chance to compete, and he's obviously making his mark known pretty early on since the signing. And we'll see I think he's got a lot more up his sleeve throughout this offseason. And like you said, he's entertaining. Like it's always fun when, especially like owners like that, kind of get involved in the social media too and stay in touch. I mean, how many times you see an owner kind of just sit back, you don't hear from him until the end of the year. So it's fun, and he takes advantage of kind of that interaction kind of standpoint with today's social media and stuff. So he's approaching it, I think, the way people way it should be a little bit in 2020, 2021, like the modern era.
By the way, our guy Jason likes Bauer, so another point for you. I guess
point for me.
I guess I might have to give up and say that Bauer's better. Ugh, what a shame. I hate to do it. I like Cohen. You as a Phillies fan, I find it interesting to figure out your thoughts about Cohen since he is in your division. He is your rival, but he's just so damn likable. I don't know. If he does take JT Realmuto from you, I could understand you not liking him. But hey, he got a catcher. So
well, I don't know why they signed JT at this point.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I'm just saying they got a catcher. Maybe you like him a little more now. I don't know.
Hey, gifted us JT back. Now let's see if we accept the gift or not.
All right, number 9 is not one that I want to talk about. I think we'll talk about this one the shortest, Andrew, and I'll let you do the bulk of the talking. It is the Mookie Betts saga. He got traded from some poverty franchise to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Everyone thought he was going to want to go into free agency. That's what he said, actually. And then the Dodgers were like, you know what, Mookie? How about you sign this 12 years, $365 million contract? And Mookie was like, yes, I will. So he signs the contract, wins the World Series, becomes the best player in baseball. Andrew, that is all I have to say.
All right, first off, you're still wrong. He's not the best player in baseball.
Sure.
I just want to start. I'm not gonna give you that yet. Okay. But no, I mean, I think we were afraid it was going to happen when it all started. He was going to find a way to get to the Dodgers, and that's exactly what happened. And I never forget, you were in the whole belief, we're going to re-sign him in the offseason.
Andrew, I needed something to, get myself feeling warm and fuzzy. I needed to feel good, Andrew. Stop making fun of me for thinking positively, damn it.
Hey, it's about being realistic sometimes.
And I wasn't, Andrew. I don't want to. I did not want to live in that real world. And now that I've had to live in it in a couple months now and see everything that happened, it sucked.
But yeah, I mean, again, it was a great move for the Dodgers. They lock him up. They have the money, so they're able to give him $365 million. It already pays off in the first year, and I mean, who knows how many World Series the Dodgers are about to win in this 12-year contract?
Yep. But he put him over the hump. Put him over the hump for sure.
Because I don't know why the next few years will be any different for him.
Hey, just remember, if he's not there in right field, who's fucking making those World Series saving catches, home run robberies against the Braves and whatnot? I don't know. All right, next one.
Whoever would have been in right field.
No, that person simply would not be equipped like Mookie. I miss you, Mookie, but forever and always. Number 8. The revival of the Padres. We talked a lot about them a lot this episode, so we don't have to get back into it really. But this was the year of San Diego. They came out. I told you preseason, Fernando Tatis Jr. was going to be a stud. I like this team, blah blah blah, and they did it. They kind of lived up to all of our expectations and exceeding them too. Dinelson Lamet turned out to be a stud. Manny Machado had an MVP season. They're doing moves to win baseball games. I've said it several times this episode, but I can't not say it enough. They're trying to win baseball games, and it's just it's nice to see. I'm glad they're doing it. Shout out to AJ Preller, the general manager, who came in. If you guys don't remember, he came in. He was the guy that tried to get the Padres to win in the first place. He made those trades, to try to win now. It didn't work out. So he tore it down again and then started rebuilding the farm system and everything. And then now that he has the right pieces, the Fernando Tatises to build up, he's going for it. And hopefully we see some success for him. Jason chimed in, by the way, that he just seems to go longer in games. That is in reference to Bauer. And he's like, Halle Berry, that is not the keyboard monster got him. I understand that. Halle Berry in the monster, he just wanted to go. So there you go. Do you have any thoughts on San Diego, Andrew?
Yeah, I think what they're doing out there is tremendous. I mean, I think a lot of franchises, like fan bases wise, wish their teams were doing what they were doing or what they're doing right now. They've set themselves up to compete. I mean, for them, it's unfortunate they're in the division with the Dodgers, so the Dodgers are probably going to still be the favorite. Yeah. But you could probably make the argument the Padres might be the second best team in baseball on paper. I mean, obviously, you got to go out there and play the games, but you're looking at them where, I mean, if they're in the American League, you're probably looking at them at favorites to compete against the Dodgers in the World Series. But we'll see if they did enough to get past the Dodgers in a 7-game series, or, I mean. See, this is where it becomes unfortunate now that I'm thinking of it. Since they're with the Dodgers, they might get the wild card game and have to play first round of the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at the two best teams might have to duel it out in the first round, depending on what kind of format it's going to be this year. Obviously,
we'll most likely not get 7 games from them. We will probably we'll get a 5-game series. So that'll be.
I mean, but again, it all depends on what kind of format. There's talks. There's pretty good talks right now.
Whoa! We'll talk about rules.
I'm sorry.
So let's move on. Shout out to the Padres. Number
7. Sorry for going overboard.
Yeah. Relax, dude. Let's get through the list. Number 7. I forgot this even happened this year. You could have told me because basketball, they pushed back their Hall of Fame ceremonies. Baseball, we didn't have a ceremony, but they advanced their Hall of Fame class, and Derek Jeter was announced and inducted to the Hall of Fame this year, 2020 class. I don't know if he can really say he got inducted without a ceremony, but he is going to be in the Hall of Fame. 99.7% approval rating, what we're calling the vote to get into the Hall of Fame. Larry Walker, Ted Simmons, and Marvin Miller also joined him in this class. So just a little love for the Hall of Fame class of 2020.
Yeah, I think it's obviously unfortunate they didn't get the ceremony, but pretty good players there that get to go in. And I don't know if you saw, they're actually going through the voting process for next year's right now. I keep seeing different reporters put their ballot out there on who they voted for. So
a lot of really annoying ballots. Next week, Andrew, how about we vote for the Hall of Fame?
Okay, that sounds fun. I'm in.
We'll submit our votes to the Hall of Fame. I'm sure they'll take our votes very seriously, and we'll do that. Next week we'll vote for the Hall of Fame. But yeah, shout out to Jeter. I guess he made my childhood less fun, so I don't know how I feel about Derek, but he always finds a way to help the Yankees. But at least he's made it a juggernaut team with this. Not even a juggernaut, a solid squad with the Miami Marlins. I'm happy to see it. Jason is talking about his Rockies and these going through the motion, win now teams, and then building, and it's nice. I understand and I sympathize with my man Jason, because that's how I feel with the Jets. It's just a rebuild. Oh, there's always next year and all that stuff. So I feel your
Trevor Lawrence.
We're not going to talk about that. Number 6, rule changes, Andrew. This is where I wanted to talk about your rules here. Number of rules were adopted this year because, COVID fucked everything up, and we'll talk about good old 19 here in a bit. But there's a lot of rule changes that had to happen this year. Among those, the DH in both leagues, expanded rosters to deal with COVID, 7-inning doubleheaders, maybe most controversial of all, a runner on second base to start extra innings, and expanded playoffs right at the last second. So, Andrew, I'm going to ask you this. What do you think sticks? What are these rules that I just listed? What do you think we're going to bring back?
Like, in terms of what I want to bring brought back, or just what I think the league's going to do?
I would like to hear both. I would like to hear what you want to bring back, and then quickly just tell me what do you think will actually get brought back.
Okay. Well, I want to what out of these? Honestly, not many.
Yeah, that's what
DH, no, thank you.
Okay.
7-inning doubleheaders, absolutely not. Runner on second, absolutely not. That's not baseball. Expanded playoffs, I did like that. I'd be all for keeping the expanded playoffs with baseball, because I think it added to the playoffs and everything this season. So I guess was that 1 for 4, 1 for 5, whatever it is.
Yeah, and then expanded rosters can go once COVID leaves. I think we both.
Yeah, I think expanded roster was a good move with the whole COVID situation, and I think definitely for the start of next year, you'll probably still have that in a situation there to keep. But I mean, I think 20. Well, they did expand it before anyway. The 26. I don't know what one extra player is going to do, but so I think the 26 I think that's a good number for a roster once they can finally go back to that. But I'm all for keeping the expanded rosters until things go back to normal.
Okay, I'm going to push back. This is where we differ, and this is where, I don't hate. I kind of warmed up on all these rules, Andrew.
Of course you did. You're so easy to switch over. Like you switch over on so many things.
Yeah, that's fine. I get convinced. I get won over, and I love the DH. I was always on that, of course. That's our American League, National League bias, sure. The DH will be here sooner rather than later, so I can't wait for that. Expanded rosters, sure. Runner on second base. Give it to me in the fucking regular season. I don't want to see it in the playoffs, of course. That's fine. I bent to that. Give it to me in the regular season. I'm not here. I love extra inning games, Andrew. I love them. But if we're talking a regular season game, which ultimately, there's 162 of them in a regular season, so they don't mean that much, at the end of the day. And maybe in October when you're fucking battling the playoff spots, it'll matter more. But give me my runner on second base. Let's cut down that time. I'm not here for 17-inning regular season games. And 7-inning doubleheaders, give me that. I want that too.
Of course.
I want that too. But here's a caveat too. I hate how you have to pay for both games. I want to pay for one ticket and go to both games, so I'm seeing less innings. But 7-inning doubleheaders are good for the players' bodies. I like the little difference in it. I think networks and everyone doing the production on the games need to do a better job of reminding fans that this is doubleheaders. Gambling community especially too. I've bet on a game thinking that it's 9 innings and turns out it's 7 this year. So I like that too. And of course, expanded playoffs. So.
It just, I don't know.
We don't have to have the full argument. We've argued about this before, but this is where we differ. I'm the more modern fan, and you're an old man.
Well, we all know, we all know I'm more of an old man. But there'd be nothing more frustrating than having a September game and having a team not make the playoffs because they went into extra innings, and a team scores because of one hit in that inning. Because the guy gets on second.
They have the same opportunity. Just do it.
Why? If you're so forward in the regular season, why wouldn't you be forward in the playoffs? Because those September games are basically like playoff games.
There's like 3 series that are like playoff games. It doesn't come down to the wire that often. And I in the playoffs, you and Sam said it, like it'd be so annoying. Get to a game 7, fucking bloop, single, game over. That's fine. That's annoying. That's like this is like bordering NFL overtime territory. But in the regular season, when I'm not trying to keep fans in games for 6 hours, dude. I'm trying to make this product a little more desirable because if you haven't noticed, Andrew, the youngins, they don't have the attention span for baseball anymore.
Okay. How many fans are you really going to get by going, okay, if this game goes to extra innings, we're going to put a runner on second base? You're not going to add any fans. You can't make that argument.
I think it'll make it more pleasing for the people that are there, that they don't have to fucking suffer through 19 innings of just, strike 3, another inning in the dirt. No one got on to the 19th. All right.
Those are fun. Those are fun random games. You don't get that many 19-inning games.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to see them in the regular season. I think they'd be even more intense in the playoffs.
But obviously there'd be more intense. It means a lot more in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. So why do I need 15 innings to decide a regular season game in March? I'd rather, you know what? Let's just put a runner on second. Let's try to make this more interesting. Andrew, you know what, Andrew? I would even be so bold. How about we start the bases loaded? How about we just give the teams bases loaded and let's first one to hit a grand slam wins? I don't know. Let's just keep it interesting, Andrew. Let's fucking shake it up a little bit.
No.
Okay, so let's move on. Because we're on number 5 now. And we need to get out of here soon, Andrew. We're trying to keep things under an hour nowadays. We're on the clock, we're definitely not going to keep it under an hour. But here we go. Number 5, no minor league season. People forget, hey, guys, there's no AAA, AA, or single A baseball this year. No rookie leagues, no short season, no nothing. We didn't have our beloved San Antonio Missions play here. You didn't have your Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, Shout out to the fucking Hogs. Love them. I should be wearing my bacon hat.
How's the hat do?
Yeah, great. I wear it all the time. Shout out to you. It's the same color as the Red Sox hat, so it fits. I still have not gotten asked, why is there just a bacon on your hat? They know.
I'm surprised about that.
But yeah, we didn't have off season or minor league season, which kind of sucks. There was that alternate site, which is a little awkward, especially when your fucking alternate site gets that COVID outbreak, and then all your minor leaguers are sick, and you're just like, what do I do? When will we see the minor leagues back, Andrew? I mean, COVID's still doing its thing right now. Will we see it back next year? I mean, I'm not absolutely sure. We have vaccines coming out, thankfully, so who knows what we'll do there. But a lot of minor league teams got taken away, too. They got dissolved. We saw, I think it was like 20 to 30 minor league teams go up in smoke. And how will that affect the development of these prospects, No one really got to see an Adley Rutschman play baseball this year, and Andrew. No one got to see Wander Franco go out there and hit home runs in AAA, whatever the hell, St. Pete, wherever their minor league system is. I miss minor league baseball. I hope it comes back. But when do you think it'll come back, Andrew?
It absolutely better come back this year. Okay. I don't.
By the way. Love
what?
Yeah. Shout out to the Mudhead. Mudhead is an all-time great hat. Great.
This is all about what we've talked about before, and this is what drives me crazy with Manfred. He's taken these times to use these excuses to institute these things he wants. Like for the last couple of years, all we heard was, he wants to get rid of some of these minor league teams, but he wasn't able to. So now he's using this to do it. And if you're out here, if we're watching MLB games, if we're watching college games, basketball, football, and then eventually baseball, If we're watching all these other sports play from professional to college leagues to high school, why can't minor leaguers go out there and play? There's no reason that they can't go play baseball. There's no reason they can't continue their development and still have the same thing. Like if the MLB guys are going to be able to travel from Philadelphia to California to whatever other stadium, and then same thing with college. Like if Oklahoma State's going to be able to go play West Virginia in a conference matchup, like that, these guys should be able to play their this is their living, this is their job. Like there's no reason why they should not have played last year as well, in my opinion. And now, if you take the risk of not having another year, minor leagues is only going to lose that much more money, and you're only going to get rid of many more teams. And these players are absolutely losing out on their development. I mean, for some bigger than others, I mean, yeah, some guys, obviously, your top prospects are still eventually going to make it. But some players go out there and dominate a double-A season or a triple-A season that gives them the MLB chance. And some of these guys are missing their opportunity to go out there and play. So I'd be very frustrated again if there was not a minor league season.
Yeah, I hope there is. That's all I can say. I hope there is. Hopefully we give out those vaccines. Jason continues with, is Ricky Henderson still playing minor leagues, or is he playing somewhere in Japan? I think Ricky Henderson, I think he's probably dominating like an adult softball league right now, stealing first and second. And I did say stealing first. I don't know how he does it, but he'll steal first base, second, and then just go ahead and take third for fun.
Could you imagine playing Ricky Henderson in adult softball?
Could you imagine just being around Ricky Henderson? I would just spoil myself. Like, sir, I'd like to hear your stories. And then he'd start talking, and then I just melt into a puddle. Number 4, Andrew. Number 4 is a serious one that I guess all these next ones are kind of serious. It's kind of a bummer, but whatever. Next one is athletes activism. We saw Black Lives Matters protests throughout major leagues. We saw franchises embrace the movement, and we saw a lot of kneeling during the national anthem. Some games were outright postponed. Dom Smith and the Mets, remember that whole emotional scene. It was good to see. I hope we see more of it in 2021. I hope we see more support for African American communities by all MLB franchises, and going forward, I hope we see more support. That's all. I mean, no complaints there, obviously.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and I would think that would still be the same in 2021. Like have the same movements and stuff, and trying to continue to make it awareness until it continues or gets better. I mean, because I think obviously it still hasn't gone away, and hopefully the movements can still add to it and try to get it towards the right direction, because I think that's the direction we definitely need to go soon.
All right, just number 3, another sad one. A lot of Hall of Famers were lost this year, and we lost a lot of great baseball players this year. Just among the list, this is a short list. This is probably I probably have more people that aren't on this list. Bob Gibson, we lost. Lou Brock, Tom Seaver, Joe Morgan, Al Kaline, Whitey Ford, and most recently Phil Niekro, god of the knuckleball. That was especially sad to see all of them lost. Niekro, the most recent, like I said, the death of the knuckleball is really depressing, Andrew. We don't, it's not around anymore. We don't see it anymore. It's kind of sad. I kind of miss Stephen Wright, even though he's an all-time asshole, all-time douchebag. I just miss seeing the knuckleball out there.
Yeah. It's been a tough year for, a lot of different sports, especially baseball here, losing so many players, Hall of Famers, and I don't know. It was definitely, and like you said, there's too many people to name, unfortunately, just because, you could go on for probably a couple more players.
Yeah.
And even guys that were just sitting outside the Hall of Fame, but still fantastic players. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's been a tough year, but now the knuckleball, I wish they'd bring that back. The one I really remember is Tim Wakefield.
Yeah, of course.
His knuckleball was great.
I love Wakefield. The best part about Wakefield is that, I obviously did not grow up in Massachusetts, so I did not go to many Red Sox games, unfortunately. But if you go to a Wakefield game, Andrew, he's fucking going. It's quick pace. He'll throw it. It's awesome. How was your knuckleball? Do you have a good knuckleball, Andrew?
Oh, absolutely. I just had to retire it because it left the game.
Okay. Right, didn't
Jason Varitek catch where the first baseman when Wakefield would pitch because it like give him a better.
Oh, man, he couldn't catch it. He caught with, I think it was a softball mitt, and that's what a lot of
It's something. Okay.
yeah, a lot of catchers are starting to do now. R.A. Dickey, another great knuckleballer, the best of our, I guess, generation. Since I believe he won a Cy Young. Am I crazy?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he won. I forget if it was the Mets or Blue Jays though.
Yeah, he dominated. He dominated for a while there with both squads. I miss R.A. Dickey and his fingernails. I remember always like checking, like, yo, are his fingernails okay? Does he have any blisters? Because if you do, you're fucked. You're just absolutely fucked. But shout out to all those Hall of Famers that we lost this year, and another shout out to Ricky Henderson. I hope we never lose Ricky. He is a goat amongst the baseball. He's got great stories too. I know Ricky's got some great stories. Number 2, Andrew. We talked about this team a lot. We talked about them in the preseason, during the season, the postseason, and we're going to keep talking about them because guess what? Number 2, Andrew, is the Los Angeles Dodgers wins the World Series. They break their 32-season drought. They win the World Series behind the back of Mookie Betts, their great pitching staff. Corey Seager wins World Series MVP and NLCS MVP, something that only 3 people have done, I believe. I think it's David Freese, someone whose name I forgot already, and now Corey Seager, who's up there. So shout out to them. It was 2 great series at the end there with the Tampa Bay Rays. They were down 3-1, I believe. They were down 3-1. They come back to win that in 7, and they beat the Rays in a very hectic series in 6. And Kershaw gets a ring. So I thought that was just a nice way to wrap up this season. We all kind of expected it. I told everyone in my surrounding circle, I was like, bet the Dodgers. Please bet the Dodgers to win the World Series. Immediately after they got the Mookie Betts trade, and I told everyone throughout the year, bet the Dodgers. They're going to win. And they did it.
Yeah, the Dodgers winning, I think for Kershaw was the biggest thing. Obviously, one of the greats that didn't have a ring now can be knocked off of that list. And I think I think we both picked them from the start of the year. I mean, they were pretty much clear favorites when they got Betts that you'd hope he'd finally be the piece that took them to the next level and got them over that World Series drought. But Corey Seager, I think we forgot to mention him when we're going through the Dodgers lineup. If they were to get DJ LeMahieu, we didn't even mention Corey Seager.
Incredible. He had an incredible year last year. Amazing postseason and an absolute afterthought. It's comical.
We'll see if they keep him.
No, they will. They ain't gonna lose him. He's a homegrown guy. It'd be Red Sox-esque to lose one of your best homegrown talent.
For Francisco Lindor, I could see him doing that.
No chance. I think they'll just keep both, but whatever. All right. Number 1, Andrew. Number 1. The story that took over the whole fucking year. From baseball, basketball, life, the fucking pandemic, COVID-19, runs wild on everyone. Halts the season. Do you remember, Andrew, our first episode of this show, this Pub Sports Radio show, which is the Pub Sports Radio show, not even baseball show back then, was pre-pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And we did an NL West preview. And we were just so ignorant, Andrew. We had no idea what was going to happen. We were just talking like, yeah, this is 162 games. We're going to play fine, And I'm pretty sure, again, we both said the Dodgers were going to win it all, but we were just going in there like nothing's going to happen. And then COVID runs wild, stops spring training right at the beginning as people were coming through. We had a couple month-long break. Remember, we had a collective bargaining fucking agreement thing that we had to get through to start the season. That was nuts. And hey, we're still going through the pandemic. The pandemic is far from over. It's going to affect next year. It affected this year. No fans in the stands. I mean, that honestly forgot to mention that. No fans in the stands this whole year. Not one person went to a regular season baseball game besides that one guy that snuck into Fenway Park. Had some people in the playoffs, which I guess was nice. Nothing came with that. But I mean, pandemic's been crazy, Andrew. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Yeah, I've heard about it. It's been tough. I think for everyone, it's been an odd year and an unfortunate year in many different ways. But yeah, I'll never forget when this whole first started. I mean, I remember, of course, it was the Ivy League, the first one to cancel.
We're like losers, fucking dummies. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I remember when they canceled their conference playoffs there right before the March Madness. Everyone was like, "What are they doing?" or whatever.
Why did you get out? Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just follows. And then you see the NBA cancel or suspend their season at first. And it was like, okay, yeah, the Rudy Gobert game.
Yeah, that's what
so.
Yeah, remember it as.
Yeah, and then you knew things were going to follow, and then the baseball made it a whole mess. Obviously, it took them a while before they got things worked out. And I mean, I know I was one to believe that they weren't going to get a season in just because they couldn't figure it out, but eventually they do, and hopefully at the start of next year I don't think it'll be normal, but hopefully you can start the season with fans by late March or I think it's early April this year that when opening day is as of now. So hopefully by then you can at least have some fans. With it being outside too, I think that helps rather than like basketball who's inside. So, but hey, it's been an odd year, and teams are trying to have to overcome it at this point. And like you said, there's some people in the playoffs there, so I was lucky that didn't fully take away from the playoffs from the fan standpoint. But hopefully, do a lot better job working it out for the start of next year. That's for sure.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Andrew. What a fucking year, Andrew. What a fucking year 2020 has been. Jesus Christ. We've made it, Andrew. We're at the precipice. We're a couple hours away. You have some things to do, so I'm going to let you go. But if you guys have not watched, maybe you live under a rock. Maybe you don't follow Andrew and I. But we did do a best of video for the Pub Sports Radio show. It's playing right here while you're watching us. It's muted, so go watch it with video. You can see the growth and progression of this show, which is hilarious to watch. It's us pre-video, it's us post-video, me pre-blue hair, me post-blue hair. I still have some of it left. I'm actually gonna go get a haircut soon and get rid of it, but it's been a great year, Andrew. I can't complain. Thank you everyone who watches. We appreciate you guys. If you're watching right now and you just jumped in and you're like, why are they just watching themselves? I bet you that's for you. But it's been a great year. It's been a great year, and I can't wait to do it again. We're gonna go back. I think, Andrew, my pledge, my New Year's resolution. I think we just need to become more consistent by doing the podcast and the show. So I pledge that we are going to do one episode a week at least for the whole year of 2021. So I believe there's 52 weeks in a year, right, Andrew? If I'm not
that's correct.
Mistaken. So 52 episodes, Andrew. 52 episodes is what I'm guaranteeing us.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed it this year. It's been it's from this standpoint, the show wise, it's been fun. Especially when baseball was canceled, the creativity to come up with doing recapping random games to home run derbies, that was a fun twist to it, and kind of had us remember different things from the past, and even we did games before we were born. That was fun to look back on.
Yeah, you can also hear the audio quality get better as we go on, because we used to do like over the phone interviews, which were just terrible audio quality. It's just so bad, but it was fun to watch. Shout out to everyone watching. Jason, we appreciate you commenting along with us. Come back again. We'll be back next week. We're gonna do Hall of Fame ballots for sure. That'll be fun. So Jason, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. We appreciate you. Andrew, my last little thing here. Christmas just happened. We haven't talked since Christmas. I want to know what you got for Christmas.
I got.
I want to see it. Damn it! I need to see it all.
You want to see it? Oh, no. I gotta get up.
No, that's okay. You don't have to show me.
Hey, that's the one I got right behind me.
Okay, 2K21. Yeah, sure.
2K21. I got a good amount of clothes. Mostly sports related, of course. Because I do nothing but sports.
Specific that popped out at you? Something like that. Did you get a jersey or something that you like specifically?
I did not get a jersey. I got a new Sixers hat. I got the Sixers draft hat from 2020. I've been collecting. I've had those hats for a little bit. I've been collecting those almost every year. Last couple of years. I got the. I still collect baseball cards. So I got the complete card set in baseball. Okay. I like to read. I'm a big reader, so I got a couple new books on the 2021 agenda here.
Something
From
you want to shout out?
I got I don't know if you heard the Roy Holiday book that was released.
Yeah.
I got that book. So very excited to read that one. And then I don't know if you've ever heard of this show, but probably my favorite show, Supernatural. It's on Netflix. I got that. It's also, they started writing books. It's a book series now too. So I got the first couple of those books that I'm gonna enjoy reading and compare it to the show.
I've never heard you say that you have a favorite show before, so this is the most shocking thing I've heard all day. So that's awesome. Thank you, Jason, for the sub. We appreciate you, Andrew. Anything else? Anything else you get?
Let's see. I mean, there's a couple other things I'm trying to remember. Why don't you give me some things while I get the rest to you?
Sure. So, my girlfriend and I, we do gifts exchange and whatnot, and she likes to go overboard. So this is what she got me. This hoodie. I got that hoodie. I got a Boston Bruins hoodie. Shout out to her. I got the WNBA orange hoodie, which I especially wanted. I was very happy I got that one. You know what I'm talking about, Andrew?
I do not.
The orange. It's just basically an orange hoodie with the WNBA logo on it. It's the one that you see. Kobe actually made it most, I guess, popular. He went to that I think he went to his last Lakers game in it. So everyone loves it. I like that. I like the logo, I guess, and the orange. So shout out to Oklahoma State. What else did I get? I just got a bunch of shirts. I got an Austin FC shirt. Thinking of Sam. Appreciate Sam as always coming on to be a guest on our show. But I'll be watching Austin FC in my shirt with him when they start playing. Shout out to him. But I think I can't remember if my favorite gift, Andrew, the Black Mamba Kobe Bryant Mamba Mentality book, obviously, that I'll just read up. Especially, can't wait for that. So yeah, it's a good Christmas. I can't complain. Cannot complain at all. It's gonna be a good year, Andrew. 2021. I can't wait to do it. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We appreciate you guys. Go watch the end of year 2020 recap if you haven't watched it already. It's a good time. It's a good watch. We appreciate everyone. Andrew, do you have anything to plug before we get out of here?
I would quickly say too. Hopefully, we enjoyed the interview we got to do in the year too. So hopefully, we can get a couple more of those in next year. I think would be fun.
Yeah.
Fun to do as well.
For sure.
So yeah, I think that'd be my thing. You mentioned obviously consistency would be big too, and then yeah, mine would be hopefully we can add a couple more interviews. But you can find me on Twitter at AJ_Santangelo. That is there on the screen. True_Philly Sport. I do a podcast with Joe Borick. He was on here once. I know you know Joe. Philly_Sports Now. I do a Philly Sports podcast with my brothers, and then at NY.
No, still haven't had the brothers on the show.
No.
Still, I'm just letting you know.
Hey, it was. I wanted to over Christmas break, but it was. It was a odd situation over break that did not allow that to happen.
Hey, I'm just letting you know. That's what I want for 2021. That's what I want from you as a Christmas present, Andrew. I want to see your brothers.
Do you want them in the same room, or can I reach out and just try to get them through here?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
We'll do that.
I'll see what I can do soon.
Next week, tell them to come on for the Hall of Fame ballots. I'd love to hear it.
Okay, I'll see if I can definitely swing my older brother. He loves baseball.
Okay, good. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.